to the 21st century technology. So she and I'm gonna do this in her place, okay? When the committee asked her, about doing something or for a suggestion, she first she thought about an event. She was trying to come up with an event that she thought would really be interesting to our age group. But first she thought about a high school class, but then she thought, no, she should focus on something more interesting to captivate your attention. She thought about free money for seniors, part-time jobs for seniors. Then she thought about, a little more about dating after 70. After 70. But then she going, I'll do something on technology of the 21st century and how we live with it or not. So modern technology may be a little scary and intimidating to some of us seniors, but don't underestimate the social networks, which have become life-changing. We own smartphones, read with Kindles, drive with UPS, GPS. And some of us even use the Facebook, well, most of us use the Facebook, Twitter, email, and shop on eBay. Well, some of us even are searching for boyfriends or girlfriends on the social network. Now don't knock it, you might try it. Well, I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. If you wake up at 2 a.m. to go to the bathroom and check your email on the way back to bed, and if you get up in the morning and go online before getting your breakfast, or if you hear most of your jokes by way of email instead of in person. If the concept of using real money to pay bills is foreign to you, and if you phone your husband to let him know that dinner is ready or it's time for him to come eat, and he emailed you back from the bedroom, what's for dinner? You are now living in the 21st century. I decided to interview a few of our classmates and wanted to get their opinion about how they feel about new technology. Because at our age, we know a little bit about a lot of things, and they agreed to be interviewed. Now, they are ready to comment on the questions I asked them. Thomas,
Yes, ma'am.
do you feel that people today are too dependent on technology?
You know, there's too much technology today. We all got along fine without it. And there were far few mistakes back then. Today's generation say that they are too busy with life and would never be able to sit at home and make a phone call as we did. But there were a worldwide technology breakdown that wouldn't survive it. Shucks, some of today's young people don't even know that a dial telephone is what it looked like, much less a typewriter. So independence on these modern things place young folks at a great disadvantage.
You're right about that, because I have a nephew, and he is experiencing some financial problems. And now he's working a part-time job. He has even come to borrow money from poor little old me, who lives on a fixed income, to meet some of his expenses. Let me tell you what technology he pays for. He pays for television and cable, a cell phone and a landline phone. He pays for internet connection, and you won't believe this. He even has a subscription to Netflix. That's not all. He has an expensive car that pops by itself. Video that lets him see what's behind it. Now, I didn't mention the seat butt warmer and the GPS. I told him, you know what you need to do? You need to take that expensive car and get another car with low monthly payments and insurance. Do you know, I looked, he had the earbuds around his neck. He did not hear a word I said.
Then I asked Christine, what is the annoying thing about new technology that bothers you?
Well, for me, it's the fact that these young people don't write these days. They don't know how to write a sentence. They print. When you were in high school eons ago, how many times were you caught passing a note to a friend? Sometimes Miss Northam or Miss Foreman would spot us passing it, take it, and read it aloud to the class. By the way, I found a sheet of paper notes we wrote in class. But gone are those days. You know what has taken the place of writing notes in the classroom? You got it. Text messaging or emailing. I must admit though, I could use a little instruction in audio text messaging myself. Heck, I haven't even mastered copy and paste yet.
William, Billy Horn.
Just call me Billy.
You know what, I messed up, y'all. Okay, all right, Billy.
You're right. You know what bothers me? People yakking and texting in church, at weddings, anywhere. When people are in the same room and communicating via text or instant messaging instead of speaking to each other, there's a problem. I have come close to running over people, all plugged into their iPods and cell phones. They're not even aware of oncoming traffic. Sometimes I want to deliberately hit one, just a little bit, you know, and blame it on my cataracts. You know what else? I have a problem with eavesdropping in a crowded restaurant, on a bus, or in the grocery store. I can't help but hear one end of a conversation sometimes. I want to give the person a little advice, but most of the time, I want to say, shut up. I don't want to hear your conversation.
Are their opinion yours? Good? I have a problem with modern technology myself. I resisted buying any of it for a long time. Now I have a tablet, a Kindle, and a smartphone. And I must admit, I'm a victim. All of you victims too? Nearly all of you in this room have one in your purse or your pocket right now. But I confess, ladies, I'd rather leave home without my girdle than to leave my cell phone. To those who swear by them, wouldn't leave the house or be caught dead or indecent without it. I have one question to ask. What did we do before the cell phone was invented? How did we manage to live without it? I'll tell you what we did. We just waited until we either got home for that important phone call or found a payphone on somebody's corner. I insist that we did just fine before we discovered the modern technology, or it discovered us. What really is the matter with this machine age? It has created a nation of lazy, impatient people. Time will not wait for any of us, but we won't wait for anything either. We text instead of paying a visit. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but everything has a price. My classmates asked me how much of a price. Well, I like to tell you what I told them. Oh, but I don't have time. I have to answer it right now. Excuse me. I hope you enjoyed this. I am Carolyn Blow Watts.
I am Christine Shivers Edwards.
Thomas Langston.
I'm Bella Carol Boyd.
William Bellingham.
Very good.